Hello, welcome to another episode of Build a List, where we build a list on stream and then play it live the following week in a stream game. So last week it was World Eaters, and you got to see that this last Wednesday against the Demons, and the week before that I believe it was Tyranids, and you got to see that against your
Space Wolves.
Space Wolves, yes. Your Space Wolves. So this week we are doing we're doing the Blood Angels. This one is not live, unfortunately. Quinn and I had to go away, so this one's pre-recorded for you. But the game will be played live this coming Wednesday.
And that's the two of us.
That's the two of us. I'll be playing into your Eldar.
Finally putting them on the table. I'm so excited.
That's right. So, getting right into it, this is going to be a Blood Angels list. If you are excited for more Blood Angel talk, then you can head over to the War Room at thewarroom.vhx.tv, where you can get more content like this, and you can also find a global community. There is a Poppin' Blood Angels chat, so head on over there, see what we're all about. There's a 3-day free trial, so you can give it a look, and make sure to find us over there.
I'm excited for this, and I'm excited to see you all in the War Room.
Absolutely. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so what are we thinking?
So I'm starting out with the Sanguinor.
Okay.
He is awesome. We are not doing a Gladius.
Ooh, no Gladius.
No Gladius. I don't think you need to. I think the Blood Angels detachment is quite good as is. And also the playstyle of more melee, I think, really is helped out by the Blood Angels detachment.
So why don't you tell me, what does Sanguinor do? What makes him so awesome?
So the Sanguinor is, first off, he's kind of a beat stick.
Okay.
Right? So he hits pretty darn hard. He can deep strike out of reserves into combat with your opponent when they charge you, and he has fights first.
That's good.
So he will get into combat with your opponent. If they charge you, pick out a character and tell them to go kick rocks, which I really like. Or pound sand, depending.
Does he have precision on his blades?
10 for 1 CP.
Oh, that seems good.
Yes. He hits. Let me find him in here. Sanguinor. There we go.
Yeah.
So he deep strikes, he fights first, he's a lone operative with 7 wounds and a 2-up with access to Armor of Contempt and Cover. He has 8 attacks at Strength 6, AP 3, Damage 2 with Devastating Wounds.
That's not a small amount of attacks. Wow.
It's not. On the charge, he will be 9 attacks at Strength 7.
Jesus, wow.
1 CP Lance.
Have some chill.
No, the Sanguinor will not chill. He's also a 6-inch Aura of Reroll Battle Shock and Leadership checks. And then, Miraculous Savior is at the end of your opponent's charge phase. You select an enemy unit that made a charge move, and you set him up within engage range of that unit. And then he has fights first, so he will go first.
He just will, yeah. Wow.
So you set him up in range of a unit that charged you, and you go, that character in that unit is gone, or that unit is gone, depending on what unit it is.
That's terrifying.
It's pretty good. He's one of the better characters in Space Marines, in my opinion. He goes in every list. He is the coolest boy. As you can see, he is starting in there. So that's where the list is starting. After that, things I'm impressed by are Death Company.
Okay. So before we add in units, what's our goal for this list? Are we making like a melee beat him in the face kind of list?
I think my first plan is going to be to include enough melee. It's going to be like an all-rounder kind of thing.
Okay.
I think.
So right now we're just adding some units that we want for our core. We don't really have a philosophy quite yet. We're just going to add some things that we think are good.
Exactly. I don't think that there's enough quality jump pack units to run kind of the same sort of list that I ran before with. Yeah. There's Sanguinary Guard are hideously overpriced. They're 43 points a model.
Embarrassingly overcosted.
And they hit as hard as a Blade Guard. So I am not particularly inclined to take one unit, let alone 3, until they go down in points some amount. Then they'll be good. Death Company with Jump Pack I think are quite good. Death Company on foot I also think are quite good, but that leans very heavily into a melee-centric archetype. And we can see if maybe we end up there.
Yeah.
But we don't necessarily need to start there. So if we've got a unit here, it's going to be...
Death Company with Jump Packs?
Death Company with Jump Packs.
Okay.
So
are these is this a one thing, or it's just like a...
This is...
we're taking 3 of these guys?
Yeah, we're taking 3.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do it this way. Jump, Pack, Death Company.
And these are 155.
155.
And what weapons are we going to give these guys?
So these guys are going to have... glad you asked. We are going to give them... War Gear. That war gear is going to be 5 power fists and 5 Inferno pistols. I like the speed of the Jump Pack Death Company. They can really run out and do jobs around the board. Yeah. The walking ones hit harder. You give them the same loadout, but the walking ones hit harder, but I don't think have the speed to really be useful outside of like us trying to swarm the board.
12-inch move is significant.
It is. It is. It's a big deal, especially in this game, of being able to actually hit things in combat at range, because fast-moving, good combat units don't necessarily exist.
No.
So those are the units I want to include right off the rip.
Cool.
After that...
So it's our core, and it's 625 points.
It's not quite our core yet, because the Death Company need a chaplain.
They do need a chaplain.
Of some kind.
Okay.
So they need a chaplain of some kind, otherwise they can't fall back, and they count as OC 0.
Does Asterath fill that role?
Asterath works, Lamartes works, or any chaplain.
Okay.
So the question next is, what unit do we want to take with the chaplain? We could take a big Death Company unit, 10-man with Lamartes. Lamartes gives them -1 damage, which is pretty solid. He also does not hit soft. Lamartes, Lolmartes. He was in my LVO list, so he's got a place in my heart. 5 attacks. They hit on Strength 6, AP 2, damage 2. So on the charge 6, it's Strength 7, AP 2, damage 2. He gives his unit lethal hits, and then his unit is -1 damage.
That is quite good.
He is quite good. He is solid. He's a little on the expensive side. He's 135.
That is a lot.
And you really want to take him in like a 10-man Death Company, I would say. Because, and he can only join the Jump Pack ones, and then that unit is 310. So that's 445 for a unit that, while tough, is not really tough, right? They're 2 wounds, toughness 4 with a 3-up.
Exactly.
You know, so they're not easy to kill, but they're not hard to kill, and that's a very expensive unit. Now, it hits hard, for sure. But I'm not sure if that's the route I want to take. It's possible. Other options, because most chaplains buff your damage output, so they give you +1 to wounds. So they want to go in a melee unit. If we look at what chaplains we can get here, we can take a chaplain in Terminator armor.
We could stick him in a big Terminators.
You could take a chaplain on bike. You could take a chaplain with jump pack. So every time you fight, you pick an enemy unit, they might take some mortals. It's pretty cute. And then they give +1 to wound to van vets with jump packs or assault squads with jump packs.
So the Blood Angel attachment gives you +1 strength and attack on the charge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the buff we're looking at. And then we have a number of strats which we can go over. To be honest, there's not that much fancy with the enhancements. The enhancements just aren't that cool. They're all right? Artisan of War gives the bearer a 2-up save and +1 AP, not bad. Archangel Shard gives him anti-chaos 5+ and lance, not bad. Something makes your opponent have to desperate escape every time they fall back. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Have enemies in engaged range of the bearer's unit have their OC. Yeah, their enhancements are kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
But their actual characters are pretty not bad.
What does Asterath do?
So Asterath, once a game, gives his unit devastating wounds.
That is good. Can he join Jump Pack guys?
He can join Jump Pack, Death Company, Marines, or Jump Packs. That's it.
And he hits respectable.
He hits respectable, but not amazing. And then when he's leading a unit, every time he gives the unit 4 fight on death.
Okay. So I would prefer...
He's not awesome. I don't love him.
No, I prefer Lamartes to him.
Yes.
I kind of like Lamartes, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Lamartes is good. Asterath is 100 points. Lamartes is 135, if I remember correctly.
I would pay 135 for Lamartes.
Okay, we can put him in there.
Why don't we add him and we'll see if we can't take him out? Because we're running a Blood Angel list, so if we can't add some Blood Angels characters...
Well, don't worry. None of these guys are having enhancements, so we can get rid of that template right there. I mean, I like Lamartes. I really do. There we go.
Yep.
And then he is 135.
Cool.
So with that in mind, I think we make a big squad of Death Company.
Yes, agreed.
So one of these is going to be 10 strong, and the other ones are going to be 5 strong. Okay, where does that leave us?
So if we're doing that, and then we're making this 10 guys, that is 915 points.
Okay, that's solid. I think that we have probably most of the combat I want.
I agree. So we should add some shooting.
Yeah, we need to add some shooting. And where better to start than whirlwinds?
Yay! They just got nerfed, Jack. I thought they were bad now.
No, nobody said that.
We adding 3 of these or 2 of these?
Let's start with 2.
Okay.
So we're going to keep the shooting down this way.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 2 whirlwinds. Mm-hmm. Where does that put us?
So that gives us 1215 is our point right now.
1215.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you something else I want.
You want the third?
Well, no. I mean, maybe, but...
I want some Lancers in here. Oh, yes, never mind. Those guys are a must-have.
Yeah, Scout Snipers are quite insane.
So what do Scout Snipers do, Jack? Sing me a song of the Scout Snipers.
They don't get shot over 12 inches, and they shoot you.
You're thinking...
And they hold points.
2 squads of Scout Snipers?
I'm thinking start with 2. It's just kind of a skirmishing unit.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine
I like
with
2 or 3. They're just good.
And then...
They also kill random characters. It's really funny.
You did mention the unit I wanted to take. Gladiator Lancer.
This thing is amazing.
One of the best main battle tanks in the game.
One might even say it's the best.
One would not.
The Fire Prism's probably better.
The Fire Prism is better.
So
yes.
we're adding 2 Lancers?
Yep.
I love the Lancers because they're not that expensive and they're very reliable anti-tank shooting.
Without putting any resources into them,
just
which I like.
Hit and a wound and a damage reroll. They're strength 14, they're AP 4, D6 plus 3. The things are amazing.
Yes. Where does that leave us?
So we're 1655 right now.
So we have 345 points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sold on Lamarties and a 10-strong Jump Pack Death Company.
Okay.
If I'm being honest with you. I like them at 5-mans because they punch above their weight. I think a 10-man squad with Lamarties is a little unwieldy.
So one thing you have pointed out is that squad is 345 or 445.
Yeah.
And that squad is tough and hits hard, but is very expensive.
It's very expensive. Them as a 5-man squad is very good at, like, trading.
Out. Yeah, a 10-man squad, you have to get your points back.
Yeah, I like trading a 155-point unit. I don't love trading a 445-point unit.
So let's take out Lamarties and we'll drop that down to a 5-man.
Yeah.
So that puts us at 1365. And we need to find a chaplain of some kind.
Yes, we do. Which probably means we're going back to the well in terms of a combat unit.
Yeah.
Which, at that point, is likely some kind of slower combat unit.
We could take Terminators.
We could take Terminators. We could take... I don't know if there's a chaplain that can go in aggressors. I don't think so. No, there is not. There's not a chaplain going aggressors. So if we're looking at a slow unit, we are probably looking at Terminators. Mm-hmm. Not against Terminators, or we're looking at Blade Guard.
I like Blade Guard. I also like Terminators. I like the idea of a rapid ingress threat.
Yeah. Yeah, I like they just start up in the sky. Nobody wants to pressure you early because you have the Jump Pack Death Company to counterpunch with.
One thing to consider, though, is if he's in reserve, then he might not come down near the Death Company. We're taking him for the Death Company.
That's true. That's true. To be the kind of command and control node for them. Mm-hmm. Perhaps that might be play aroundable, you know?
Okay. How badly do we need these guys to have OC?
If we only have 3 units?
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think it's that big a deal.
It would be nice.
It would be nice, but like... Well, the point is we take a chaplain, and then, like, if we can engineer a situation, but if we don't have OC, then we just don't have OC, and it's fine.
That could work. I could see just foregoing it and just saying these units just slam and that's it.
Yeah, then they hit really hard.
The problem in a shooting army with having your counterpunch be unable to fall back.
That is a big issue.
Yes. Yeah. It would be very easy for your opponent to tie up on them, and they take some damage, sure, and then you can't fall back.
But, like, are they strength 8?
Yes.
If you get charged by, like, a rhino, the odds are good you don't kill it.
Decent. Yeah, you reroll hits, but if you get charged, that's 15 attacks.
Yeah, I mean, like, you should kill it, but...
I don't think you should, actually.
Because if everyone hits, which it won't, then you get, like, 5 wounds, and they make 2, and then they take 6 damage. Oh, yeah, you don't kill a rhino.
No, you don't kill a rhino. You're very good at killing, like, infantry that come up to you. You're bad at killing vehicles.
Okay.
Which is part of the reason why we might end up with a 3rd Lancer in the list, is because otherwise you're bad at killing vehicles. Mm-hmm. like really bad. Like if your opponent has like one big model, you might just not be able to kill it. So that's something you need to think about. I mean, they're still so dirt cheap that it's fine.
Yeah.
I could just see a unit of Blade Guard being like another defensive piece, right? Another defensive piece, and you just include a Chaplain. Because the Primaris Chaplain is really not that expensive, if I remember correctly. Primaris Chaplain is 65. So 265 for a unit of Blade Guard.
And then the Chaplain? I like that. That's worth it.
Yeah, you get 6 Blade Guard for 200. And then you get a Primaris Chaplain.
So that puts us back at 1630 if we add the Blade Guard and the Chaplain. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what are we going to spend these last 400 points on?
I'm glad you asked. It's probably going to be more shooting.
Probably.
And skirmish. Mm-hmm. So we have scout snipers, which could go to another squad of scout snipers. It could also be things to prevent deep strikes. Mm-hmm. I think we want some amount of infiltrators, even if it's just a 5-man.
So we just going to throw in one?
Let's throw in one squad of infiltrators. Just so that deep strikey armies that do the like 3 inches away nonsense don't get to have fun.
You think GSC are good right now?
GSC very good right now. And then demons also can do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And just generically being able to zone out the table, I think, is a big deal. So 5-time infiltrators.
Okay. So now we have enough. We have 280, which is enough for one big unit or like a few small units.
I kind of like the few small units idea. Mm-hmm. I think we have enough. I think this is going to be an MSU army, really, is where it's at. I think it's going to be an MSU army. Where are we at if we take another Gladiator Lancer?
Okay. And then another Scout Sniper?
How many points do we left after the Gladiator Lancer?
We have 135 after the last Lancer.
After the Lancer?
Yes.
135. Interesting.
How much are Walking Death Company?
130.
I mean, that fits. Just take a squad of Walking Death Company.
Yeah, we could. We definitely could. Walking Death Company are quite solid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Death Company on foot. Death Company Marines is 130. And that's how much we have left, basically?
Yeah, it gives us 5 points, but whatever.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So let's... I'm not willing to call this it right away.
No.
Let me see. So we have 130. Let's see this ratio, right? So let's split up some of this stuff so it's easier to keep track of. We can split them up into different categories, right? So that is our skirmish package, and this is our vehicle shooting package on the right. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to weigh them against each other and see how do I feel about the various ways that our lists like correspond. So we have a melee package of 3 units of Jump Pack Death Company, a unit of regular Death Company, and 6 Blade Guard.
Okay, that's respectable melee.
It's respectable melee. Blade Guard a little slow. I would kind of like to have something that can deliver them.
I agree.
That would be nice. But I think it might be fine. Right, it might be fine.
I think Walking Blade Guard are fine.
They're defensive.
They are very
is the idea. Yeah. Perhaps that means I need a little bit more shooting to pull people into me. So
I
maybe
think
that
3
one...
Lancers and 2 Whirlwinds is enough.
You think so?
I think so.
I do get to take space with a bunch of this stuff. Like if Blade Guard are behind a wall, there's not that many ways to just deal with it.
No, not really.
I will say I think this unit of Death Company is a little superfluous.
I agree. I think
it dropped into the list because we had 135 points left, but there's a lot of things in Marines we can spend points on.
Okay, so what do we
if we don't, let's put the agents line here is just stuff we are
considering.
Okay. If we look at it like this is a very solid counterpunch package.
Yes.
This does not really affect that at all.
Because the Blade Guard are there basically as bodyguards for the Chaplain.
Yep, and also a solid like mid to late game try and take over the center of the board piece.
Yep.
3 units of counterpunch, and then if you charge anything, the Sanguinor shows up and introduces you to his little friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's very solid. The 1 unified Death Company is kind of extraneous.
I agree.
So we're back to 135.
Mm-hmm.
I want a little bit more shooting or skirmish, one or the other.
So what can we take? How much is like just a Devastator squad?
Devastator's 120.
Okay. What or Inceptors? We could do Inceptors.
Inceptors are 115.
I don't hate the unit of Inceptors or like.
I mean, this could be, instead of the Infiltrators, it could be 2 units of Inceptors, right?
I like that a lot, actually.
Because that costs 25, 115, it'd be 140. We're just over the line.
Also, hear me out. What if we ran a Predator as the 4th Lancer?
We could run that. We could run a Ball Predator as well. Ball Predator is a good Overwatch piece. It's 18-inch D6 plus 3, 622, Torrent, ignores cover.
So it's basically one Redeemer gun?
Yeah, except 18 inches.
That is significant.
It is. It isn't the point where like the Overwatch just you pack it in and the G is G'd.
Yeah.
But it is a sizable amount of. It's not fun to get hit by, right? Like you can't just walk scout snipers onto the point because they'll get killed. You can't walk infiltrators onto a point because they'll get killed. Like it is annoying there. We could try to make room for a repulsor, right? Turn a Gladiator Lancer into one of those.
It would also give the Blade Guard a ride.
It would give the Blade Guard a ride, and then if you try to charge the Blade Guard, they hop back in the repulsor.
Okay.
Let me see. Here's the problem. I don't think we have a repulsor.
Do we not have a repulsor?
We don't have a repulsor. That might be the kind of thing I try to pick up today.
Hey, we should do that. We got Warpfire. Yeah. The wonderful Warpfire minis, everybody.
Yes.
They have repulsors, probably.
Yeah, once per turn, after an enemy unit declares targets for its charge, but before it makes a charge move, you select an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that was selected as a target for that charge. If you're not within range of any enemy units, and you're within 3 of the transports, you go in the transport.
I mean, that seems good. What does it do? What does it shoot?
So, ranged weapons, it has a lot.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, they gave it the repulsor defensive array, finally.
Thank God for that.
So it has
war gear options.
It has a better... So it is another Lancer. It has a Lancer gun.
Yeah, so you get a twin las cannon, unit comp, heavy onslaught Gatling cannon, or a las Talon, a hunter Slayer missile, a repulsor defensor array, a twin heavy bolter or a twin las cannon, and an armored hull.
For 230?
No, it's 195.
Oh, are you looking at the Executioner?
No, the repulsor itself.
Okay.
And then it holds 12 models.
I don't hate that.
The Blade Guard could just get a ride around the board, along with 5 scout snipers or something. And then they get out, they fight, and then if you try to charge them back, they get in the repulsor.
I mean, that seems good.
It seems pretty dope. We have how many points left?
So if we add the repulsor, we're 60 over.
So that would probably go in place of a Lancer.
Yeah. So we're going to cut a Lancer. That gives us 85 left, which could be a 3rd unit of scout snipers.
Could be a unit of scout snipers. We have how many left, you said?
We have 95.
85 left.
Which we would have 10 points left. We could just, we could throw like some random enhancement on the primary Chaplain.
We could. Going through here, what's 85 points? I mean, I don't... Let me see something.
What?
See if they...
Have a repulsor?
We just somehow, they do not have a repulsor.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure that was a good idea, but it is a cool idea.
It was a very cool idea.
It was a very cool idea.
Okay, so we're back to 3 Lancers.
Back to 3 Lancers. I'm down with dropping 1 for a gun, like an upgraded gun, right?
What if we added a Land Raider with the las cannons?
I am not against adding a Land Raider.
I like Land Raiders.
I would definitely do the Redeemer if I was going to do a Land Raider. The Land Raider Redeemer is super cool. It is 295 points, but it is also super cool.
Does that fit if you cut a Lancer?
It probably does. I think that's too much.
Okay.
Like, I think that's just too much nonsense. I don't... Let me see. Do we have anything in, like, the mid-bracket? How many points is this exactly?
So this, with 3 Lancers...
Yes. This, what we're looking at right here.
Is 1865.
1865. So we have that 135 left over that we were talking about. You could just take a 3rd Whirlwind and try to find some... Right, Infiltrators come Scout Snipers. You just get a 3rd Whirlwind.
I like that.
You're a bit of a parking lot, but with really good counterpunch. I mean, that would be more mech. I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all.
3 whirlwinds is just a lot of shooting.
It is. It is a lot of shooting. That's probably one way. Hold on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that as an option for people. Mm-hmm. So I'll just show that list, and then you can... All right. If you're interested in that list, I think that list is very good. Screenshot this now and just run it.
That list looks terrifying.
Yeah, that list looks horrifying, for sure.
Wow, okay.
I would not want to play into that.
No.
Luckily, I don't have to. But this list looks very good. I think this is very solid. We could play this. It's a lot of kind of one thing, right? It's a lot of 3 whirlwinds and 3 lancers. That doesn't get it done. My entire plan doesn't work, but like...
What doesn't that get it done against them?
I don't know. It's quite solid.
Yeah.
And then if you charge me, the Sanguinor's like, hello!
Yeah.
And then you have 3 Jump Pack Death Company and Blade Guard to defend.
Uh-huh. Seems real good there.
Seems good. I don't think I need 3 whirlwinds. I think at that point I'm vulnerable to people just trying to rush me down.
Yeah, probably.
Because they're good indirect profile. I don't think they're as good direct. So like if my opponent's sitting back and letting me shoot them, 3 whirlwinds I think is better. Mm-hmm. But if they... hold on, Control Z. There we go. But if they just run at me, I think I'm going to suffer in the damage compartment. I like the idea of some... whatchamacallsums, some Inceptors. Inceptors are quite good. They're also really, really good objective control pieces because... or secondary control pieces because they deep strike 3 inches away.
Yeah, those are crazy.
So you can rapid ingress them 3 inches away as well. Take objectives.
That's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
So why don't we add a unit of Inceptors? Now, do we want to give these guys Bolt or Plasma?
I actually like Bolters. They're not as good as in the... they're not as good as in the Gladius because you can't 1 CP plus 1 AP ignores cover in Dev Doctrine. But, on the other hand, so what?
So would you rather have +2 strength, +1 AP, or...
+1 shot.
+1 shot, sustained it to twin linked? They're both twin linked.
They're both twin linked.
No, I'd rather have the Plasma, I think, for the overcharge.
I actually quite like the
Bolters?
The Bolters. They're really good for going back and picking up some, like, Desolators or something if your opponent's trying to do that.
They really are.
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't we go ahead and we'll add the...
I mean, they're bad if you can't make them ignore cover. I will give them...
Yeah, I think they are better in... I think in Blood Angels, I'd rather have the Plasma.
Probably. Looking through the other things I can take, let's look through the Blood Angels index, see what I like there. There's plenty of stuff that I do like, so let's look through. Things that we could take to round out. So again, we're kind of at that 135. I'm sold on the melee. I'm happy with the melee. I'd like a little more of shooting in kind of a different direction to this. So we've got a Ball Predator. Ball Predators are good. Mm-hmm. They're legitimately good. I would be left with 10 points left if I took one. It has the Ball Flamestorm Cannon. It can advance and shoot, but only target infantry when it does so. And it has a decent flamer. And it has then 2 heavy flamers as well. So
Yeah, it's a lot of flamers.
It's a lot of flamers. So, I mean, that's a pretty good Overwatch piece, to be honest with you. Maybe that protects our, like, Tonk Fort.
Yeah, from people coming up on you.
Yeah, and I'll probably get a Ball Predator from Warfire today. So that would be a decent Overwatch piece with 2 heavy flamers, and a Ball Flamestorm Cannon, and it can advance and shoot. It's a good skirmish piece, and it's a good tank. Mm-hmm. So I think that kind of cuts the difference there, splits the difference. Because that is what I'm attempting to add to the army, is I'm attempting to add a little bit more tonk, and I'm looking to add a little bit more skirmish, and I think it fits in both categories.
I agree. So we've got our Ball Predator, and then why don't we just go ahead and we'll add the Icon of the Angel to the Primaris Chaplain?
How much is it?
It's 10 points. You literally have nothing else we can spend.
Yeah. Icon of the Angel is which one?
I have no idea what it does. Let's find out.
Go to
Enhancements.
I forget the names. Whenever your opponent falls back, it's 10 points.
We have 10 points.
You
right?
have 10 points, yeah.
Like, it's free, basically, right?
Yeah, if you didn't have 10 points, then you wouldn't have this upgrade.
Yep.
So, let's... There we go. We had 10 points, so screw it, right? I was really hoping Icon was the half OC.
Yeah.
That would have been really
That
strong.
one's like 25.
Yeah, that one's like actually good, so they priced it like it's actually good, which makes it actually not that good.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think of that list?
That list is... I don't want to play that, Jack.
Tough. Tough. You signed up for it. You signed up for it, bud. So you're getting the full force of the Blood Angels coming down upon you. I will say, I think Blood Angels are a lot more like normal Marines now. I'm excited for what happens whenever they finally drop Sanguinary Guard points cost. I don't know whether that's going to... Hopefully that's going to be at some point.
I hope that the next balance update is pretty sweeping.
I would like that.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to end up running. I think it's got great shooting. I think it's got great combat, great counterpunch combat, especially. Good scout snipers for objective control. Got ball predator. Got infiltrators to try and stop people from deep striking inside of my lines, and good indirect. So I'm a fan.
Yeah, this thing seems real good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. You could swap a lancer for a second predator. Could do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it as is. The ball predators, there's an Overwatch piece, and to go solve particular problems. Let's leave it as it is, and we'll test it out, and I'll give you my thoughts after the game.
I know. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah. This was good. I didn't really know where I was going with this going in. You got to see us kind of ruinate, stall out, and then figure out where we're going to go with it. So I'm quite excited. We will see you with this list on Wednesday. And until then, you can tag me in the Blood Angels Discord in the War Room. And if you're not a member of the War Room, you can go to the description down below to the warroom.vhx.tv. There's a 3-day free trial, and you can join in the discussion about how the game's going to go. All right, until then, adios. Bye-bye.